probably haunts you in your nightmares.
Mommy.
The kids love this one.
Mommy shark.
Thank you, DJ Abiam, for this one.
Shark.
Mommy Shark, Baby Shark, all the sharks.
Daddy shark, Daddy shark.
Well, the baby fair is upon us. It's happening again from the 7th of July all the way up until the 9th of July 2023 at the Marina Mall, Airport City, Accra, and we're looking forward to it. We're gearing up to it. Of course, Community Connect will be coming your way very shortly, but before that, let's have a conversation about our kids. Joining me on the phone lines, Dr. Hannah Sharon Mills, specialist pediatrician at the Kolibut Teaching Hospital. Doc, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hannah Sharon, long time no speak.
I know, it's been a while. Hi,
It's
Helen.
been ages. Hi, good to hear from you. Hope you've been well.
Good to hear from you too. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. So, as I mentioned, we're gearing up for a big baby fair. We're going to have parents there, expectant mums and dads, shopping around, trying to find gifts and goodies for their children. But we're thinking also this morning about our young ones' health. And for parents who are thinking about possibly fortifying their children's health and vitality, what types of products would you recommend in this day and age? There's so much on the markets, so much being offered out there, supplements, vitamins, all of that. What should parents be thinking about when it comes to the general overview of their kids' health?
Okay. I know there are so many options out there, so much to think about when you're getting ready for a new baby, but it's important to remember that it's the health of the mother mainly that determines the health of the baby. So that's why it's important that right from the beginning, right from when, even before a woman conceives, she starts taking folic acid during the pregnancy. And when she does realize that she's pregnant, she should start with antenatal care as soon as possible. And new mothers need to take care of themselves. It's a stressful process, but also a beautiful process, the process of pregnancy, the process of delivery and having your baby. So it's important that it's not just a mother's job, it's a societal thing. The fathers need to be involved. Grandmothers are usually always involved.
That's right.
And once the baby comes, amidst the excitement, we need to remember that the baby and mother still need to recover from the process of delivery and birth. So as much as we want to visit with all the new things, remember that mother and baby both need to rest. They need to recover from the process of delivery. They need to get to know each other, because even though childbirth is a natural thing, it's still a learned process. And I know that there are so many things that you think about when you have a baby. That you're thinking about feeding, you're thinking
That's
about
right.
dressing the baby, you're thinking about everyday life and taking care of the rest of your family as well. Luckily for feeding, one of the easiest things to do, not easiest because it's time consuming, but it's a labor of love. One of the easiest things to do is breastfeeding. And for breastfeeding to happen, it needs to start from the beginning, from when you are pregnant. And like I said before, parental involvement is key, not just maternal involvement. So fathers need to be involved. When a mother has a baby, breastfeeding ideally should start within 6 hours of delivery.
Right.
Because once we initiate breastfeeding early, it's likely to continue exclusively for the first 6 months and beyond. WHO says that breastfeeding should be ideally for 2 months or longer. It seems like a very long time, but it makes a huge difference in the baby's life.
Indeed.
And am I going off topic?
Not at all. But speaking about feeding, so in terms of storing maybe excess milk, what would be the best product for mums to purchase? Are there any specifications? There's a lot of talk about plastic and its effect on the food that we store it in. What should mums be thinking about?
Okay, so in the first 6 months, especially if you're doing exclusive breastfeeding, which is ideal, the most important thing is mother is able to stock up baby's milk supply, because obviously, usually mother will go back to work. But if there's breast milk stored, for the first 6 months at least, there's a possibility of doing exclusive breastfeeding.
Right.
And we have options of breast milk storage bags, which are very convenient. So as the mother is feeding her baby, after a breastfeed, she can decide to express the breast milk. There are various breast pumps available. There are manual pumps, there are electric pumps, there are pumps that you can put in your nursing bra and carry along with you as you do your household chores or whatever work you need to do. And then once the milk is pumped, it can be transferred to the storage bags. And breast milk can be stored in the freezer for up to 6 months. It can be stored in the freezing compartment of the fridge for up to 3 months, but not in the door of the fridge.
Got it.
And once it's thawed, it should be used within 24 hours of being thawed. And so there's that option. There are also feeding bottles available that can be used for exclusive breastfeeding. Let's say mother is tired, she wants to breastfeed her baby, but she's pumped milk, so daddy can wake up at night and help mother to breastfeed. And
Got it.
ideally, we don't want the feeding bottles to be introduced too early in life, because if that happens, there's a risk of nipple confusion. And once we do start with the feeding bottles, we need to remember to keep them clean. The same principles apply. Good hygiene, hand washing, proper handling and washing of the feeding bottles so that there's very little to no risk of infection from feeding through the bottle, because we don't want the baby to get in bed and then get an infection as a result of that.
Okay. And I wanted to ask as well, these days, what is the most common ailment that young ones are presenting at the hospital? So this is, say, toddlers to maybe teenage years.
Okay. Unfortunately, we are still getting a lot of children who come in with malaria. And I'm in a teaching hospital, so we see a lot of children with severe malaria who come with kidney injury, come with severe anemia. Some of them need ICU care because of malaria, which is easily preventable by indoor spraying, keeping your surroundings clear of containers that can keep water and be breeding grounds for mosquitoes.
So would you recommend the nets? You know, we used to sleep in that all the way up until even secondary school.
I know, right? Yes. It's still very important that children sleep under insecticide treated nets. Some of the complaints that mothers come in with is that it's too hot, it's uncomfortable.
That's right.
Which would you rather have? A hot, uncomfortable child or a child with malaria who needs to be admitted to the hospital? So it's important that we do the things that we can to prevent the common conditions that bring the children to hospital quite young.
I also wanted to ask about colds and flus as my last one. We need to make way for Community Connect. I know kids are always picking up these types of infections. For parents who want to have a peaceful summer, peaceful rest of the year, should they be thinking about stocking up on vitamin C, for example, or is that also just down to the diet? What advice would you give parents generally to ensure that some of the more avoidable things are avoided, the colds, the flus?
Okay, unfortunately, you can't avoid some of these things, especially once they start school, they are staying with other children. Children pass viruses around like they pass their love around. So the most important thing, like I said, teach your child, because children are much smarter than we give them credit for. Teach them a common thing, good hand hygiene, don't pick your nose. As much as possible, try and give them a healthy diet. I know sometimes it can be difficult because they may not want to eat certain things, but it's important that they have a healthy, well-balanced diet with all the nutrients, the vitamins that they need. You know, vitamin C is always a plus. It doesn't hurt. And then there are also various multivitamins on the market that can help. But the most important thing is hygiene, adequate rest and sleep, and adequate nutrition.
Amazing stuff. Doc, thank you so much for your time this morning. We'll certainly be engaging you as we gear towards the baby fair. I think there are some more tips and tricks that we can share with parents and expectant mums and dads. So thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
And that was Dr. Hannah Sharon Mills, specialist pediatrician at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Baby shark, do-do-do-do-do, baby shark, do-do-do-do-do,
We'll be talking more about babies, family,
shark, do-do-do-do-do,
taking care of ourselves as we get towards the baby fair
do-do, mommy shark.
happening from the 7th of July all the way up until the 9th of July. We'll park it here, make way for Community Connect with the one, the only
Shark,